Somebody pulled out in front of a fire truck responding to a fire last night in North St. Louis County. It became an emergency on the way to an emergency.
Remembering Michael Brown 9 years after his death. The memorial event's happening today in his honor and the fundraiser aimed at building a better future for tomorrow.
Strong storms in the forecast for today. We'll update you on where the worst of the weather will move through and the timing.
This is key to significantly growing our advanced manufacturing capability at the site.
A plan to expand the airport, the major step forward for Boeing to bring hundreds of new jobs to Lambert.
Earning an A+.
She's the Parkway School District Teacher of the Year.
How one Parkway school teacher is going above and beyond, giving her students the biggest lesson outside of the classroom.
Singing the Blues, the popular festival making a return to St. Louis this year.
This is Today in St. Louis, focused on you.
Right now it is the calm before the storm. We're taking a live look at the Gateway Arch, where it's dry for now, but in a few hours that will be a different story. Here's a look at the radar where you can see rain is on the way, heading straight to the St. Louis area. Good morning, everybody. It is Wednesday, August the 9th. I'm Randy Knott.
And I'm Michelle Lee. It is a weather alert day, so we just want you to be aware as you're walking out the door, whether you're watching us live this morning on TV or maybe you're catching us a little bit later on 5+. Either way, so great to see you. We've got Paul Cook keeping an eye on our construction zones and all of our incidents on the road. And Anthony, you've had a very busy morning already.
Yeah, rain is coming, but I don't think we'll have terrible weather in St. Louis Metro. The worst of the weather will set up south of St. Louis today for our southern counties, and that will be around dinner time. So even though we'll have rain around this morning, we'll have to wait a while for the worst of the weather this evening. So the system is moving in from Kansas, as you saw, even parts of Iowa, and just now beginning to stretch into western Missouri. So that's still a good 4 hours away from us here in St. Louis. And you can see on the Futurecast as we time it out, 9, 10 o'clock for our western counties, but closer to lunchtime. And notice how this is just plain old green. We're not talking heavy thunderstorms by then. It will just be a light to moderate rain to start. And then as the afternoon goes on, you may have a few rumbles of thunder. The intensity picks up, and that's where we'll have to watch our southern counties for the stronger storms later today. And as we head to bed, all of it clears away. But in the meantime, a slight to enhanced risk for our area today, so do be weather aware. We always say when thunder roars, go indoors. A good day to download the 5 on Your Side app and you can track the radar for yourself. Let's head over to Paul, tracking dry roads this morning, but also the app. Keep an eye on traffic there as well. Good morning to you, Paul.
Absolutely. In fact, not many headaches out there on the road right now. Great camera here from MoDOT. 70 at the Great Stan Musial Bridge, looking on the Illinois side, and you are moving. Even volume is a little bit lighter out there this morning, but you mentioned it. A lot of construction out there. You could see lane blockage, just a leave early type of situation. We also have some slowage out west, 70 at First Capitol Drive. Up here, you're going to be tapping the brakes just a little bit because there's a ramp closed. Otherwise, you're just moving very well. We'll have more traffic coming your way soon, guys.
Thank you, Paul. Right now, we are following breaking news in Nashville, Illinois. An officer is recovering this morning after being stabbed in the neck. This led to a 5-hour-long standoff, which ended about 2 hours ago. Here's what we know right now. It happened around 10 o'clock last night during a well-being check about an hour southeast of St. Louis. Officers checked on a man and were putting him into protective custody when he stabbed an officer and then barricaded himself inside of a bathroom. The officer was taken to a St. Louis hospital. After a 5-hour-long standoff, the suspect was taken into custody around 4 o'clock this morning.
It was an emergency on the way to an emergency last night in North St. Louis County. 3 Blackjack firefighters were hurt when their fire truck crashed on the way to a structure fire. Alex Fees is live this morning in Florissant with the details on what happened. Good morning, Alex. What do we know?
Michelle, good morning. Those 3 firefighters were hurt in a crash after that car pulled out in front of their fire truck. That location then turned into a crime scene because the other driver kept on going. It happened last night about 9 o'clock at the intersection of Country Club and Old Halls Ferry. A Blackjack Fire spokesperson says the firefighters were heading north on Halls Ferry towards a structure fire. when a car suddenly pulled out in front of them. That's when the pumper left the roadway while trying to stop and avoid the car. The fire truck then rolled over and apparently ended up in some trees. 3 firefighters on board were transported to a hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. Officials say the car that pulled out in front of the fire truck left the scene. Now, no word on whether the firefighters were actually admitted to the hospital. Coming up at 6:30, just what makes it so difficult to stop a vehicle like a fire truck? In short, momentum. Live this morning in North St. Louis County, Alex Fees, 5 on your side.
Thank you, Alex. The death of teenager Michael Brown sparked protests in Ferguson and around our country for months. Today marks 9 years since Michael Brown was killed in Ferguson.
Our Sydney Stallworth is live in Clayton this morning with the memorial events happening today in Brown's honor. Good morning, Sydney.
Good morning, Michelle. Rennie, on August 9th, 2014, Michael Brown was shot and killed in the streets of Ferguson following a confrontation with a Ferguson police officer. His death sparked outrage in our community and, of course, far beyond. Today, multiple groups are going to remember his memory and honor his legacy that he leaves behind. Organizers are acknowledging today's anniversary of this painful moment in our past and hope to usher in a new future for the community. The first tribute will be held on Canfield Drive in Ferguson, where Michael Brown was shot and killed. A 4.5-minute moment of silence will be held there at 11:55 a.m. to remember the 4.5 hours his body laid in the street. You're encouraged to bring bears and candles to rebuild the memorial there. And later tonight, an organization started by Michael Brown's father, Michael Brown Sr., called Chosen for Change, will hold its second annual Black Ball fundraiser and awards gala. The fundraiser and gala will be right here at the Ritz-Carlton St. Louis in Clayton from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. And the event will honor Black educators in the region and award 2 scholarships to local students in need. There will also be live performances and a silent auction. Today's gala has a fundraising goal of $500,000. Organizers say that money will be used to build a Chosen for Change community center and to fund the annual Chosen Fathers Retreat, which helps support local parents and build up the next generation. Reporting live in Clayton, I'm Sydney Stallworth, 5 on your side.
Thank you, Sydney. We're going to take a live look now at St. Louis Lambert International Airport. Today, the Airport Commission will consider a proposal to bring Boeing more property at the airport. Boeing wants to expand operations onto 154 acres of land at the airport. The $1.8 billion investment would create 500 jobs. At a county committee meeting yesterday, there was support from community partners, including the director of the airport, who says when businesses expand, they bring in more foot traffic to the airport.
Taking the underdeveloped, underutilized land that we own and turning it into something to enhance the area around the airport. Take the eyesore out of there, take down the old decrepit buildings, and we'll see bright new facilities on our campus at our airport.
A taxpayer concerned about Boeing getting subsidies asked county leaders to put this matter to voters. The meeting is this afternoon at 1 o'clock.
In just a few hours from now, a major pickleball tournament will be underway in Forest Park. More than 400 amateur and professional players will compete in the 5-day-long event. The 2023 APP Summer St. Louis Open will be at the Dwight Davis Tennis Center. The first game starts at 8 o'clock this morning.
All right, well, this morning we're keeping an eye on showers on the radar. They're just now beginning to push into western Missouri, and that has prompted our weather alert for the day ahead. So we'll have rain around today, but it does not look to be severe to start. The stronger storms this evening will be south of St. Louis, and the timing again later this evening. So while we'll have the rain today, it does not look to be severe until around dinner time and bedtime. Then we dry out as we head into Thursday and Friday. We heat up too, bright skies. We throw a few more clouds in for the weekend, but mostly dry weather. It's just Friday night and Sunday night we'll have rain around. A deeper dive into the weekend forecast coming up in a few minutes.
The results are in. The 2 big changes from yesterday's special election.
A new study is revealing major revelations for a weight loss drug, the impact it could have on your health and your wallet.
Hitting the jackpot, where the winning Mega Millions ticket was sold, as somebody is waking up a billionaire today.